Hello, YouTube, and welcome to the Builder's Diaries, where I build a business and a body at the same time. Today, I'm going to be talking about something really radical that I just did just to be able to get me more time back. And I'm really excited because I'm already seeing it working. I'm going to talk about a new niche that I'm potentially going to be exploring. I think it makes a lot of sense for me to explore this niche. I'm going to talk about my juice fast update. Did I make it all 4 days on a juice fast? And my first networking event, in-person networking event, like a big one. There was probably over 100 people at this event. So how did that go? And did I meet any good people? So let's get into it. All right. First things first, something really radical that I did is I deleted Facebook off my phone. I no longer have Facebook, Instagram, or I have X, but I don't really go on there and comment on stuff. But I don't really have social media on my phone anymore. I don't have that to go and just scroll and endless hours. And I've never really been big on YouTube. I'm not going to go on YouTube and just scroll through shorts because that's just not really something I've ever really done before. I hope I don't start doing that now because I have nothing else, but I no longer have social media on my phone. It was just something that I just didn't like it because it was wasting so much time. And it was triggering me because I was reading comments or seeing things and I would get triggered just at random times in the day. And I was trying to be productive and I didn't want to just randomly get triggered. And I've had a lot of bioenergetic tests on my body over time. And I'm in fight or flight. My body is in fight or flight and probably a lot of the EMFs. And it doesn't help that I keep jogging my nervous system when I'm seeing things on social media that I don't agree with or this or that. It jogs you a little bit. It jogs your nervous system because it makes you question and it's like that subconscious and all the things come in play when you're reading this stuff. And so I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm wasting time. Like I had a timer on my phone so where when I had it at an hour, it would tell me that, okay, you've had an hour and I would just keep ignoring it. And so I could see that getting longer and longer. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I took Instagram off my phone in September and I loved it. I have now taken Facebook off my phone. I'm not 100% off of Facebook. I'm not really on Instagram. My audience isn't really on Instagram. I don't really care to be on Instagram. I don't need to be on every single channel. That's not really what I'm doing right now. I'm going to be a lot more productive. It's really funny because I keep finding myself reaching for my phone and trying to go to Facebook and check it because it's just that addiction. You have that scrolling addiction. You got to change it. If I don't, it's so weird. No more Facebook on my phone. I'm going to go on it at night. I am still using Facebook though. So I'm going to be posting my blogs and posting just random stuff. I'm going to post my thoughts here and there and just going to check in, post about clients, probably be posting my new niche stuff on there. Maybe we'll see, but only focus time. I'm going to go on there on a laptop, on a computer, and that's it. Not on my phone, not randomly, not when I don't control it. I think this is going to change some good things for me. I think this is definitely needed. I just didn't like what it was doing to me. That's good. But moving on a little bit, I have just been racking my brain about this whole niching down thing and the sub niching. And the people that I know that are doing the best have sub niched. They're really specific. They're helping one person with one type of problem. And that is what the business coaches tell you to do. My business coach now that I've paid a lot of money for is telling me that I need to sub niche down. And so it's hard because I get bored. And that was the problem with me in health is I kept getting bored. And you can see over the series, I've done so many different things. I get bored. I like to do new things. And so for me to pick one type of business, I was like, that doesn't sound like anything I want to do. Like I want to just work with like small businesses, maybe businesses in their first couple of years. So that is a certain type of business because not all business I can work with. I can't work with I don't want to work with large brands. I want to work with small businesses. Maybe they have one employee, maybe they have a couple employees, maybe they have virtual assistant. That's it. I don't really want to work with these bigger companies. Not right now. That's not really what I want to do. So I guess that is niching a little bit, but I felt myself going into the health because that's where my experience is. I've done health practitioner. I've been involved with health and posting on health. I know a lot about this. It's what all my experience and all my ebooks is. It's what all, my portfolio is. It's health. So I thought, okay, that's the easiest thing. And I'm just coming up against like blocks a little bit with it that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get over like personally, I think. And so I don't know if it's quite right for me to do that. So I have just been racking my brain and I was like, what is that person? If I were to call out one person, who would that be? And I'm just like, I've worked in home building for over 13 years. Like I am looked up to as an expert. I am looked at as, wow, Pelly, you know what you're doing. You do a really good job. And I'm like, why don't I leverage that? Like I have a lot of friends who work in home. They're either real estate agents or they're remodelers or landscape. Like they do something in this industry. So I'm like, I can use my friends as a base to me to go out and question the market and be like, is this needed? What do you need? What type of service for marketing is that would serve this industry the best? And so I'm thinking that maybe I move into like home improvement type stuff. So I would do AI marketing for home improvement industry. So that for me is very niche and target. Maybe specifically, I do home remodelers and I work with remodelers and we do SEO, we do blogs. I like that a little bit more because I think if I'm going to home remodelers, I'm not going to be as pushed on Instagram as I was with these course creators. And I think that is my block because I'm not a social media expert. And so I am one type of agency. I'm not really an agency yet. I'm growing to be an agency, but I do email marketing, I do funnels, I don't do social media. You got to have the social media down before you come to me. And so I'm running into some issues with that. I think if I worked with a client that either they don't really need to be really heavy on Instagram, or I think it's just Instagram. Honestly, I can do Facebook, I can do YouTube, but when their ideal target audience is on Instagram, it just hasn't really been working really well for me. That's a program I don't love, but other people are good at it. And so I'm just like, if I do want to grow to it, I can bring someone on as a social media expert. And so I could have that because I do think it's important. I think every single client I've come up across, the last 4 clients I've worked with, has needed someone to help them with social media. And I can give them a strategy, I can give them copy, I can give all that, but they still have to be that face, be that brand, do their videos, and maybe they outsource it. And I've told people how to outsource that and how to clone themselves, but they still have to do that. And so they have to make that decision. It's something I'm struggling with a little bit. I think I might be switching into it. So I went to my first networking event and I haven't been to a networking event, you guys, like an in-person dress up and you walk around, you're like, here's my business card, like very formal. It's the Chamber of Commerce networking event. So very formal, a lot of people. There was tons of people, guys, girls, and I've just kind of been networking with women. So this is very different. It was really cool. I actually love networking with men. One of the first people to talk to me was an advisor. And so he was just like, okay, so who are you trying to meet? And I was like, I want to work for home improvement trades. So this was like the day after that I just kind of had this huge, I need to switch out of course creators and service-based industries and maybe work in the home improvement niche. So I met this guy and I was like, yeah, home improvement businesses. He was like, we don't have any trades but at the chamber. There's not really any trades in our chamber. He's like, we might have a roofer, but they don't really come to these events. And he's like, you need to be marketing with or networking with real estate agents. There was a couple of real estate agents there that I met. There were a lot more mortgage people there. There was a couple AI people there. There was a designer there, which is cool because one of my hires that I know I want is a funnel designer. I don't really want to spend the time doing the design, make it look pretty. Like I know what to do. I know the elements. I know how to do it, but I just don't want to do that part. And so I'm like, that is like, I know for me, it's like, I'm going to bring on a virtual assistant. I'm going to bring on a funnel designer. Those are my two, and then probably a bookkeeper around that or some in there at some point. But as I start growing, as I get more clients, that is my goal. That is what my plan to do is. But the networking was really cool. I met a bunch of people. I got all their business cards, and some people, it was interesting because I don't do networking and I haven't done this for so long. Like it's probably been 15 years since I've done something like this. I used to be in sales. I used to do a lot of networking events. I used to go to so many networking events and talk to people, but it's been a very long time. And what I noticed that things have changed a lot. And so I got everyone's business cards. The next day I sent every single person an email. Some of them I was just soft pitching. And some of them I was like, I was so happy to meet you. Maybe I'll see you around, blah, blah, blah. I mentioned something that we said in our conversation because I remembered something I said or talked to about with every single person because I wasn't drinking. That's another thing at these networking events. I don't drink. I'm sober. And so I can remember what I'm talking about with all these people. That was not the case 2 years ago when I would go out and do anything. I wouldn't remember my conversations with people. I would go out and do magic stuff. I wouldn't remember my conversations with owners and stuff and people I would meet that actually wanted that could be clients. I wouldn't even remember. And so now I can, and it's a lot better when you can actually remember your conversation. So the next day I was like, oh yeah, I talked to him about this and I can write that. And so I used AI to write a lot of really good emails. I didn't hear anything back from a single person, which is really interesting. So I don't know. It's just maybe people don't send follow up. It was nice to meet you emails. I guess that's not a thing. Not even one person out of the 12 people I emailed even said thank you. So that's what's crazy to me. I don't know, but I'm going to be that person. I'm going to go above and beyond because nobody's doing it. Nobody is sending that. Nice to meet you. If you ever need me, here's my information, blah, blah, blah. Here's my website, blah, blah, blah. So that personal touch is missing, I think. Weird. It's very odd to me, but whatever. I'm going to be the odd one and I'm going to keep doing it. So now that I know people don't do it, I'm going to keep doing it 100% because that sets you apart, especially in a world with AI. You got to set yourself apart a little bit. So this is going to set me apart. Is any business cards I get from anybody, I'm going to send them a follow-up email the next day with all the information. Because honestly, if I was telling everybody, yeah, home improvement companies, home building and home improvement companies and remodelers, but I could have helped any single one of those people like little by little. So I don't know. And it's hard too because I go on Upwork and I'm like, cool, home remodelers. And there's 1 or 2 jobs for them. But for health coaches, there's so many. And so I'm just, it's hard because I want to do this niche, but all the work that I can probably get pretty easily is in a different niche. And so I'm like, maybe I do health and home building because it's like health and home building. And that's literally my life is health and home building. So I don't know. It's hard. And I think I'll get clarity down the line, but it's weird that it keeps coming back to me of I need to do something with this home building background I have because it's pretty big. It's pretty big. For 14 years at a home builder is pretty big. I've been 9 years in construction operations, pretty big. I work for a very large home builder that most people that they're in the construction industry, they've heard of my company. And so it might work very well for me because no, I've never done marketing for these companies, but I've worked in these companies. I understand the lingo. I understand the terms. I know the industry. I know what's working, what's not working. I know the struggles in the industry. So maybe I don't know remodeling, but I know home building. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And so the last thing, my juice fast, you guys, I did a 4-day juice fast this week and I was struggling a little bit. I came off of Thanksgiving. I was eating a lot of gluten. I wasn't really feeling very good. And so the juice fast pushed me into just liquid stool, and that was just not very fun. I don't know if you've ever dealt with that, not very fun. So I had liquid stool day 1, day 2 it got a little bit better, and day 2 I actually had poop, like actual, like, solid poop. It wasn't liquid anymore. But at night, when I went to my networking event, I think that was actually day 3, I was just like, "Oh my god, am I gonna shit my pants? Like, am I gonna shit my pants in front of all these people?" I had a light colored skirt on too, and I'm just like it was hard for me because it was, like, you're still a little bit liquid, but not, and it was just not fun. And so by yesterday on Friday, I was like, I'm sick of this because I still had solid, but then I still had liquid. It was just a mix of it. And my stomach was like making all of this noise. And I'm just like, I am sick of this. I can't do this anymore. So I went to a plant-based restaurant yesterday and I got, what was it, like a gluten-free avocado cauliflower wrap, which is really freaking good. And then I got a roasted mushroom soup and I got that for dinner. 3.5 days. I didn't make full 4, but I guess I had on my 4th night, I had dinner and actual food. So now I'm feeling good. My stomach isn't grumbling anymore. Back, still going back to my food I was eating, still staying very healthy. After this, I'm going to make a very healthy dinner. I'm excited. I haven't really had any big salads. So I'm going to chew some lettuce, which just sounds weird to people, but I'm really excited about chewing lettuce. I've just been drinking a lot of lettuce and greens and fruits and things. And I like to mix greens in with my fruits, so I make sure your blood sugar is a little bit more stable. But I had some juice that wasn't like that. I had a lot of my juices always have a green in them or some sort of vegetable to stabilize. That's my update. Yeah, I got my Oura Ring, and it's funny because you're supposed to put it on your non-dominant hand, and it's on my dominant hand because I've struggled just with this hand. I wanted to put it on my middle finger, but it doesn't quite fit on my middle finger, and it does sometimes, and it does sometimes, and I had no idea how much my fingers swell during the day. My hands swell in and out all day, and this hand, I had it on, it wasn't working, and it's a lot looser on this one, but I'm not gonna have a ring on my ring finger when I'm single and I'm looking to find a man. So I'm like, this is not what I want to be putting in the universe as I go into public, as a ring on my ring finger. So we're gonna be putting in my dominant hand on my ring finger and calling it a day because it's actually pretty comfortable in this hand. I don't notice it. It's not bothering me at all. So I think I got a good tracker, you guys. I'm excited to see the health data that I get with this information. It's tracking my sleep. It's telling me how prepared I am for the day. Like it gives you a readiness score. And today I was over 80 and it was like, you can do anything you want. You are ready to do any sort of activity. You could go hiking, you could go running, you could do whatever. And so I was ready to do that. Tells me that I'm really restless at night. And so I need to work on that. So hopefully I think the first 2 weeks is just getting your information, and then after that, it starts to give you suggestions of things you can do to hopefully improve your numbers, which is really cool. So I'm excited. It has your temperature, like it's got a lot of really cool data, a lot of more data than the Fitbit had. I had a Fitbit for a very long time since 2015. I did an episode about that as well. If you want to go and check out the tracker episode I did, that I posted a couple weeks ago, but yeah, I'm really excited about my Aura Ring. And we're going to be doing a giveaway for an Aura Ring as well with my clients. So I'm excited because we're running an Instagram giveaway to grow their Instagram account, to get their account grown because they had zero followers. So I was like, all right, we're going to be doing an Aura Ring giveaway. We were supposed to start it a couple days ago and just we haven't done that. And we are now pushing it out till I think right before Christmas or after Christmas. I'm not sure. That is coming. That is definitely coming. And I'll probably talk about that when this is here because I want my clients to succeed. So I'm definitely going to be sharing that with you guys because they're a mindfulness client. And One of the biggest things I struggled with when I worked with health clients was their mindset and that mind and not being able to overcome those thoughts and those feelings. And so this is pretty cool what they're doing. I really support what they're doing. I think it's really awesome. Definitely needed for people. And there's probably a lot of people on here that would love to check that out as well. I'll be sharing more, I think, as our campaign evolves. All right, guys, take care and have a fantastic day.